Let's get a check of today's business news. Joining us is Peter Switzer, the founder of the Switzer Report. Peter, good morning to you. So let's move to the US to begin things. Is the worst of the Trump tariff correction behind us, do you think?
Probably the worst would be, probably the answer would be yes to that, because there's been a kind of substantial sell-off. But I do think there could be another leg down, Pete. And the reason is Donald Trump is a very unusual person. You can't rely on what he's expected to do. And on April 2, we're expected to see the reciprocal tariffs that he imposes on his other trading partners. Now, that should give certainty to the markets, and that should be a good reason to expect the markets would go up. You'll know what countries are affected, what companies will be affected. You can do your calculations and buy or sell accordingly. But who knows what Donald might come up with after April 2. If April 2 gives clarity, I'm really confident the worst is definitely behind us. If he comes up with new curveballs, well, the market will be spooked. I still say that the next leg down will not be as big as the first, but still, he's an unusual guy.
Well, no, I wondered if this was going to be the case, because I was reading recently, it was in the FT or maybe it was the Wall Street Journal, that some big investors and big Wall Street types had started pressuring the president and asking him, hey, we need some clarity here because this is just all over the shop.
Yeah, exactly right. And why wouldn't you? If you're a CEO in a big organisation like, say, Morgan Stanley or Citi, you're going to say to him, come on, look, give us clarity. We understand what you want to do, but we need to know what companies are going to be affected and what countries and all that sort of stuff. So I think that's the most important thing. So I'm hoping April 2 gives clarity, and then the worst is definitely behind us.
Okay, obviously federal budget is the major event this week, Pete. I mean, is that central to you? What are the big market moves expected to be?
Yeah, it's certainly going to be important. We need to see if this is going to be a spend fest ahead of the election. That could then start people thinking, well, hang on, this is such a big spend. Will the Reserve Bank hold back on interest rate cuts that we're expecting? That's going to be, I think, the most important story. A lot of this stuff, like, for example, if the government makes promises and they don't become government after May 17 or whatever the date might be, well, then it's not as big an issue. But I think the most important consideration after the budget will be, what's this mean for interest rate cuts? And that's critically important to the stock market.
All right, Pete, appreciate that.